The mayor wants a new police station in the core.
Calgary is now the only major North American city without a downtown station.
One step in a broader plan to tackle social disorder and crime. Plus, a hit and run sends a teenager to hospital.
Very disappointing.
Extremely.
Because obviously none of us would want to be in that position as well.
He did not deserve to be injured like that.
Is it tied to an earlier altercation? And Mark Carney announces Canada's first national sovereign wealth fund.
That's a lot of money, and it's money we don't have.
It's a great initiative, fantastic announcement.
So how will it work, and would you invest?
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Tara Nelson.
Hello and thank you for joining us. We begin with breaking news tonight. A child was badly hurt in a rollover in the Northeast this afternoon. An SUV ended up on its roof on Temple Drive near 60th Street. It appears it collided with another SUV that was also damaged. The child was rushed to hospital in stable condition. Police are asking people to avoid that area. Calgary police are also investigating a hit and run that sent a teenage pedestrian to hospital. Jacqueline Wilson is following this one for us. So Jackie, what can you tell us?
Tara, the incident happened around 11:30 a.m. behind the Village Square Shopping Centre on 23rd Avenue and 52nd Street in the Northeast. Police believe an altercation happened between a male driver and a teenage boy, and the driver attempted to leave the area in his vehicle and struck the teen. The youth sustained non-life-threatening injuries and was transported to hospital in stable condition. Several other teenagers were nearby at the time of the collision. Lester B. Pearson High School is across the street.
Yeah, so I was on the way back to school and I seen some cops over by the car wash. So I just went there and I seen someone I knew and they told me that so-and-so got hit by a vehicle and that he flew in the air and then landed on his head, right?
And I heard it was purposely too, over an altercation apparently, but I don't know for sure.
Now, Tara, police have not publicly released the suspect details or the description of the car involved, and there's no word yet from police if any charges will be laid.
Becky, thank you. The city is preparing to bring back a full police station to the downtown for the first time in nearly a decade. While some Calgarians love the idea, others are skeptical about implementation. Moses Waldo has more from City Hall.
For the first time in nearly a decade, Calgary could have a permanent downtown police station if Mayor Jeremy Farkas has his way.
Having a visible presence for the Calgary Police Service, but not just the police service, but also many of the other community partners and providers, will go a long way to be able to address some of the perception of safety.
It's been on the mind of Mayor Farkas since his time as councillor a decade ago. It's also part of his campaign promise as mayor.
It's not enough to know that there might be help somewhere. It's important for our local residents and businesses to know that they have a very specific place that they can go to any day of the week.
The last time CPS had a main office downtown was in 2017. They currently have a community counter on 6th Avenue Southwest, but it does not have 24-hour capacity, meaning no police patrols or a place to process arrests. Those who come to downtown regularly see more of a police presence as a positive.
That could be a bit more reassuring than not having something that could just take a bit more time when I need that help.
It's also welcome news to the group representing the 2,600 downtown businesses who are often shouldering the burden when crime strikes.
We hear from all of those businesses every single day, and this is the stuff that they're looking forward to. If there's a disturbance in a business and they know that call will take them 45 minutes to have some action, whereas there could be a patrol coming down the street, that's a meaningful improvement.
Most of council is open to the idea, but one area council member says having a building is not much of a deterrent and points to other areas like East Hastings in Vancouver, which has a police station.
It's about the officers, the supports, and all the other agencies all working together in tandem to deliver the results. Buildings don't deliver safety, police officers do.
And Mayor Farkas reiterates that it will be a community effort.
And this is really just reinforcing our Calgary Police Service as just that, as a service.
Moses joins us from City Hall tonight. So Moses, what are the next steps then going forward?
Well, council will meet on May 26th to discuss the motion, and you also have to think this is good news for CPS. In a 2025 year-end report, Calgary police say that crime has disproportionately hit the downtown core, so this is going to be a positive step going forward. Tara?
Okay, Moses, thank you. Police are searching for a man they say was involved in two separate assaults about 20 minutes apart in the city's southeast. Police say the assaults happened at Fish Creek Park between 5 and 5:30 p.m. last Monday. In one case, a woman was jogging near Mallard Point when a man riding an e-scooter sexually assaulted her. The suspect is believed to have been watching the woman near the on-site bathrooms. After the assaults, the man rode the e-scooter toward the Douglasdale area. He is described as being in his late teens or early 20s and about 6 feet tall. He was wearing black pants and a red hooded sweatshirt and was playing music on a speaker while riding the e-scooter. Anyone with information is asked to call police or Crime Stoppers. Former Dances with Wolves actor and convicted sexual predator Nathan Chasinghorse has been sentenced to 37 years to life, minus about 3 years of time already served. Chasinghorse was found guilty of multiple counts of sexual assault against a minor and other charges in Nevada. The 49-year-old had a group of followers described as the Circle. Prosecutors say Chasinghorse used his reputation as a medicine man to prey on Indigenous women and girls. Victim impact statements say he betrayed a trust. Chasinghorse told the court he denies the charges. He is also wanted on warrants from BC RCMP and Cetina Police. Chasinghorse appeared in the 1990 Kevin Costner movie Dances with Wolves, portraying a young Lakota boy. The Calgary truck driver responsible for the deadly Humboldt Broncos bus crash will not be deported, at least not yet. Jaskirat Sidhu was supposed to be on a plane to India today after serving his sentence for dangerous driving. But a federal court judge granted a last-minute delay. 8 years ago, Sidhu drove through a stop sign into the path of the bus, killing 16 people and injuring 13 more. Sidhu's lawyer argued the Border Services Agency's refusal to delay the deportation on humanitarian and compassionate grounds was unreasonable. The judge says Sidhu can stay in Canada until the federal court considers the case. Sidhu suffers from PTSD and depression and has a child with complex medical issues.
The family could be broken up for years or even permanently. They have a son who's got medical issues that prevent him from being able to live in India. So it could have been a highly disruptive. So when the decision came through on Friday saying that they had a reprieve, of course there's tremendous relief. They know it's only temporary.
Michelle Strachnitzky, mother of crash victim Ryan, calls the delay ridiculous. Many of the Humboldt Broncos parents have been urging the government to go through with the deportation.
You're watching CTV News Calgary.
British petroleum giant Shell is taking over a Calgary-based energy producer. Shell will acquire ARC Resources in a deal valued at $22 billion. ARC Resources has holdings in Alberta and BC in the Montney Shale Basin. Shell says the deal will expand and strengthen its footprint in Canada for decades to come. The boards of both companies unanimously supported the transaction, which is expected to close in the second half of this year, subject to regulatory approvals. Rogers Communications, a major Canadian media and technology company, plans to offer buyouts to half of its 25,000 employees. A company spokesperson told the Globe and Mail that Rogers is taking steps to adjust its cost structure to reflect the business realities of the current environment. Some business units will be ineligible for the offer, including on-air talent, Sportsnet employees, and union workers. Prime Minister Mark Carney announced a new $25 billion sovereign wealth fund today that he says will help build major projects and give Canadians a direct stake in the country's future. He also says average Canadians will be able to invest in it. Kevin Green reports.
The Canada Strong Fund will invest $25 billion of public money alongside private investment in a fund to help build major projects.
The fund will be professionally managed and operate as an arm's-length independent Crown corporation.
Calgary's Chamber of Commerce says if it gets building started, that's what matters.
It's a great initiative, fantastic announcement.
But some economists warn Carney's version of arm's length might be pretty short arms.
So we're borrowing a lot of money that we don't have to fund projects through an agency that appears to be at arm's length, but where really bureaucrats are going to be deciding where the money goes.
Environmental groups say it's a good idea, but with a big caveat.
But it has to be geared towards projects like renewable energy.
Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre says it's not a wealth fund if the government is still in debt.
He's talking about a sovereign debt fund. He wants to put another $25 billion on the national credit card.
The Canadian Taxpayers Federation is worried too.
This is unfortunately going to be another huge waste of taxpayers' money.
Carney says the goal is to make the fund one all Canadians can share in.
This will be a Government of Canada fund, but more importantly, this will be a people's fund.
Will it be a good investment? Financial advisors say it's too early to tell.
It's a very interesting play model. I just want to see how it works out. So we're months away from understanding that.
Still, some have made their decision. Would you invest in it?
Yes, I am Canadian. My children are Canadian. And my grandchildren are Canadian, and Canada's strong. We have to go all the way.
I don't think so. I mean, look at how much money we've put in with our tax dollars, and we just keep going farther and farther into debt. So I'd be pretty skeptical that you could trust them to actually grow this thing.
Kevin joins us now. Kevin, Mark Carney had few details about how the fund will actually work.
Sure did, Tara, and that's why the financial advisor you just heard from said it's a little too early to be deciding whether or not this is a good investment for any of us. Mark Carney did say that more details will be rolled out over the coming months. Those should start, he said, as early as tomorrow morning when the government delivers its fiscal update, one in which he's expected to say the deficit is not as large as was predicted in the federal budget last year. Tara?
Okay, Kevin Green reporting. Kevin, thank you. Well, let's put all that weekend snowy, windy weather behind us. Danielle's here. We're moving on to spring.
We are. We don't have to hold on to the fence for this week. The winds will be, a little breezy at times, but nothing like last week. It's brighter, it's warmer, and we're just getting started. So hopefully you've enjoyed today. Today we got to a high of 7. We're now down to 6 at the airport. Winds have gusted up to 30 kilometers per hour at times, and now down to 17. All right, looking at the next 24 hours, a couple key things you do need to know. We have a small chance of a little sprinkle for this evening, a greater chance later in the day tomorrow, especially by those supper hours, maybe even a non-severe thunderstorm. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, but also wind chill for the morning. When off to work and school, it will feel more like -6, but overall, a really nice day. More details coming up, Tara.
Thank you, Danielle. Do children need to be protected from social media? As more jurisdictions implement bans or restrictions for youth, how close is Canada to doing it? And a royal state visit in the midst of political tension and a shocking shooting. What we are now learning about an assassination attempt on the weekend.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew announced over the weekend his province will be rolling out a social media and chatbot ban for children. As more governments around the world move to protect kids online, exactly how they would work is unclear. Parents here welcome the idea, but high school students aren't so sure. Tyler Barrow explains.
Our kids will never be for sale, and their attention and their childhoods should never be profited from.
On Saturday, Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew told a crowd of NDP supporters a social media and chatbot ban was coming. Who it would target and how it would work was not addressed. But in Calgary, it's a move Cody Rovency welcomes, especially before her daughters start using social media platforms.
It's concerning. I don't want them to go on social media and get into some bad things.
While outcry grows for stricter AI regulation after the Tumbler Ridge shooter's ChatGPT account was flagged by the company but never passed on to Canadian authorities. Darren Hamlin held off on giving his children phones until they were 16. But as they missed out on communicating with their friends through social media, he eventually gave in.
There's no level playing field for parents because we have to act together in order to change things.
Alberta's government says it is watching what Manitoba is doing, but no restrictions are being considered yet.
Time is up.
Meanwhile, youth from across the country met in the nation's capital on Monday, demanding the federal government introduce and pass the online safety legislation, similar to legislation Australia made in December for kids under 16.
Time for Canada to keep pace, to pass legislation that will keep our kids safer in this digital world and hold these tech companies accountable.
Back in Calgary, some grade 12 students see the downside of social media.
Violence and a lot of body image issues come from social media.
But they don't see a ban working.
Kids, they would find a way around it, and I think it's worse for them to be sneaky.
A better solution would just be that education piece about it.
And Tyler joins us now. Tyler, the federal government has been eyeing a similar bill. So any update on that?
Tara, the group of children in Ottawa did get to meet with Mr. Mark Miller, who is in charge of the future online harms legislation. He's yet to say when a new bill will be ready, as he's still consulting with experts on what its scope should be. His press secretary, though, had previously told us many options are on the table. Tara?
Okay, Tyler, thank you. The new crews responsible for protecting our province from wildfires have been training for weeks ahead of wildfire season. CTV's Curtis Goodrum has more on what the recruits can expect heading into this summer.
Initial attack trainees load up helicopters, ready to be sent on their final test.
Get about 2 people on nozzles. We'll have both of our hose blades. Make sure we have 2 and 3 on there.
Facing wildfires on the ground.
The terrain has been pretty tough. It's pretty dense stuff. We're going through lots of safety scenarios, lots of tactics for fire. And
each year, 150 trainees are put through 3 weeks of classroom and hands-on training, teaching them how to effectively fight wildfires.
You're learning a lot in a short period of time, and so it's really just an introduction to the job and all of the safety features and all the things we're going to want them to really know, but ultimately they'll go out to their crews and they'll continue to train.
Despite a wet spring, snowpack in the area is gone, so crews will have to be ready for forests like this to flare up at any minute. These recruits say they're ready.
I'm excited to just get on patrols and get back to Lac La Biche and start working.
I think it's going to be a great season. Everyone seems super ready.
Alberta Wildfire says while the season in northern Alberta is off to a slower than usual start, the south of the province is much drier.
It's really too early to say what fire season is going to bring. The big determining factors for us when it comes to spring wildfires are how the snow melts and how much rain we receive.
We always prepare to be ready for kind of anything that the season will throw at us, and so we'll just have to see what happens.
Now that crews have moved through the training, they'll wait, ready to be called upon.
There's always something that comes up unexpected, but that's why we do this training.
From Hinton, Curtis Goodrum, CTV News.
Well, really, as soon as we finish winter, those forest fire concerns are pretty real.
Yep, right away. And it's these ridge of high pressures that builds in, that where the heat builds, we get no moisture, and one is building in right now as we speak. So it's going to give us lovely weather that we're going to enjoy the outdoors, but of course, then yes, it does enhance that risk. All right, so looking at gusts today, nothing like last week. Last week in the 90s, and today we just had gusts in those 30s for southern Alberta, or not even registering a gust like in Medicine Hat, for example. So tame day with regards to the winds. Temperatures are starting to climb. We're still below normal. A normal daytime high is 14 degrees in Calgary for this time of year, and we did get to 7. We're now at 6 as we start to cool down for the day. 9 in Lethbridge at the moment, and 7 in through Medicine Hat, 8 in Milk River. So nicer temperatures than what we had for much of last week, but we're just getting started here with this warm up. Earlier, we did have a couple little isolated sprinkles in the city. You can see these little few isolated pockets tracking towards Highway 2. Nothing really significant, but some isolated areas could see a little burst of rain before the evening is all said and done. Really what's happening is we have a system tracking stateside. So while we have this ridge of high pressure building in, and that gives us stability, because of this stateside system, it's going to make things a little unstable late in the day tomorrow. More unstable than what we had today. And I'll show you in the futurecast what that means for us. But first, upper air analysis. Here's that ridge of high pressure building in. So a couple key things. Yes, lots of sunshine in our forecast for this week, but also underneath this ridge of high pressure with the jet stream all the way up in the territories, this is going to allow that warmth to build and build, which is why we're going to get into the 20s later this week. All right, so there's that little bit of instability that we have right through until about 8 o'clock tonight, and then it's out of southern Alberta. Tomorrow, we'll kick off the day with a mix of sun and cloud, and then later in the day, we will get that instability building along the mountains and then tracking off. It will likely have enough strength to track all the way east to Calgary and along Highway 2 as well. And you can see these little dots here of yellow, this model indicating that even the potential for a non-severe thunderstorm around the supper hours, which means some isolated spots of Calgary could see that activity. That means lightning, a decent downpour, and even some pea-sized hail could come with that as well. It will be brief and it will be out of the way, and then things will be more stable for Wednesday. There will be some development, but it doesn't look like we're going to have enough instability for it to track all the way towards Calgary. So this is why your long-range forecast looks like this. 13 degrees is our high for tomorrow. Yes, keep in mind a bit of a wind chill for the morning hours, but overall a nice day. But yes, the late day pop-up shower and thunderstorm, especially by those supper hours. Stable for Wednesday and Thursday. Temperatures building close to 20 for Thursday, likely 20 for Friday. And then late day Friday, we get into the potential of another late day shower or thunderstorm. That's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast.
The White House is framing the shooting in Washington at Saturday night's annual White House Correspondents' Gala as another attempt on the U.S. president's life. The suspect is making his first court appearance today. CTV's Washington Bureau Chief Joy Malbon has more now on the investigation.
In that terrifying moment, the president and first lady rushed out. In the chaos and confusion, police with guns drawn, there are more questions about how a would-be assassin could have gotten this close. The suspect, California teacher 31-year-old Cole Thomas Allen, who was a guest at the hotel and sprinted past a security checkpoint, shooting at an officer and then arrested.
Today, the Department of Justice filed 3 federal charges. The first count is attempted assassination of the President of the United States. The second count is interstate transportation of a firearm to commit a felony. And the third count is discharge of a firearm during a crime of violence.
Authorities are digging into Allen's past, including a lengthy manifesto he allegedly sent to his family, describing himself as a friendly federal assassin. He wrote he was enraged by the Trump administration officials and would target the highest ranking to the lowest. Pedophile Jeffrey Epstein not mentioned by name in the manifesto, but on 60 Minutes, the president was asked about the gunman's words.
Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person.
The president praised law enforcement, but after being targeted 3 times, the White House is blaming Democrats and the media for the increase in political violence.
The deranged lies and smears against the president, his family, his supporters have led crazy people to believe crazy things, and they are inspired to commit violence because of those words. It has to stop.
The White House will review security protocols and possible lapses before future events that include another press dinner, the World Cup, and America's big birthday bash in July. Joy Malbon, CTV News, Washington.
King Charles and Queen Camilla arrived in Washington today to begin a 4-day state visit. First stop for the monarch was the White House, where he and the Queen were greeted by the President and First Lady Melania Trump. The royals will also be the guests of honor at a formal White House state dinner. The King will address the U.S. Congress tomorrow. He and Donald Trump will also have a one-on-one meeting. The royal visit is officially to celebrate America's independence from Britain, but it is also a delicate mission to restore the strained relationship between London and Washington over issues that include the Iran war. A new report from Jewish human rights organization B'nai B'rith Canada reveals anti-Semitism across the country has reached record levels.
The sustained year-over-year increase in incidents of anti-Jewish hate make it clear that, when it comes to anti-Semitism, we have become a nation that tolerates disgraceful levels of hate.
The organization says international tension after the 2023 Hamas attacks against Israel fueled an increase in anti-Semitism in Canada. The most recent data from Statistics Canada shows hate crimes across the board have steadily increased over the past 6 years, with Jewish and Muslim communities the most targeted religious groups. Former Mount Royal University professor Frances Widdowson was arrested over the weekend for violating a trespassing notice issued against her by the University of Lethbridge. Back in 2023, Widdowson was scheduled to speak at the school before a large protest involving hundreds of students stopped that from happening. In February, she was issued a trespassing notice after an unscheduled event at the U of L campus that triggered a 6-hour student protest. The U of L says Widdowson was reminded of the notice in writing last Monday. She was then arrested and ticketed for trespassing on campus on Saturday. Widdowson was fired from Calgary's Mount Royal University in 2021 over her controversial views on residential schools. No doubt you have noticed the higher price of beef at the grocery store. We'll hear from ranchers tonight about some of the big challenges in the sector right now, but why they're also feeling optimistic. And a Saskatchewan towing company is getting plenty of attention after giving a helping hand to a moose trapped in ice. That's still to come. The cost to raise cattle is going up, and so is the price of beef at the grocery store. But Alberta's agricultural industry is feeling optimistic. China's accepting Alberta beef again, and more market access could mean lower costs at home. Here's Tyson Fedor.
If you go to the grocery store and are shopping for beef, you will have noticed the soaring price. 14% in the last year, according to Statistics Canada.
The whole world that can afford it seems to really enjoy beef.
Demand remains, but it comes as livestock prices are up. What was a $1,500 cow now sees Leighton Colk selling it for more than double.
Every month we wish we would have bought more last month because it's higher. It's like it feels like runaway inflation today.
But Colk says the cost of doing business is way up, paying more for feed and for hay. Futures Market says cattle prices are up 6% in the last month, 20% compared to last year.
The cattle business is not jump in for 6 months and get out and wait till it gets better and then jump back in. You're in it for the long haul.
Calgary's business community hosted the province's ag sector Monday. Many feel there is a level of optimism within the sector that has not been felt in some time.
The fact that China has lifted its ban on Canadian beef being imported into the country, fantastic. So that really is a great opportunity for us as well. And certainly we know that we have what the world needs: food, fuel, fertilizer.
But getting beef, grains, or fertilizer to other markets, including Asia, has been difficult due to high shipping costs.
It's great to make the statement that we want to double our agricultural industry, but when our rail's already 100% utilized, how are we going to get that doubling of that to market?
Despite the optimism for some, others in the industry say global volatility has challenged the sector like never before.
Just in recent years, we endured those droughts, COVID, policy issues out east, multiple supply chain collapses, and even last year's Liberation Day. But what we've encountered over the past several weeks has impacted global agriculture like very few events in history. It could literally take years for us to regain equilibrium.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
Alberta will host the 35th annual Tri-National Accord in late September with agricultural delegates from the U.S. and Mexico. The conference aims to strengthen trade, food security, and agricultural innovation. And Alberta Man has created a spoof website to push back against what he calls biased information published by the UCP government. The province launched its campaign this week to get voters on its side for upcoming Alberta referenda. But that campaign has been heavily criticized, and now it's being mocked. Tim Brooke explains.
Thursday, Premier Danielle Smith announced a new website was now online, persuading voters to cast ballots in favor of sweeping immigration and constitutional reform. She also made a prediction about October's votes.
I suspect what will happen is that there'll be a yes side and a no side on each of these questions, and there'll be a variety of different third-party groups that are advocating for the reasons for and against.
That premonition was right. Motivated by the website's claims about immigration, Strathmore's Stephen Iloschuk got to work.
To treat this huge swath of people as somehow just this net negative on the province is frankly dumb.
Enter the Alberta Referendum 2026 website. The spoof looks like the province's page, but has some colorful additions. A referendum is supposed to ask voters a question. Part of the site reads, this one starts by giving you the answer.
I'm just a guy with a keyboard who likes to make dumb politics memes and do satire and stuff like that. And I thought, you know what? Why don't we make an actual website that maybe actually is a little bit more informative?
At the very least, the site is attracting a lot of attention. It even received an online share from Canadian Senator Paula Simons, who called it clear and powerful. One political watcher also got a good kick out of the referendum jokes, though he says it illustrates a growing concern he has with October's vote.
It's going to be a battle of confusion in some sense, but also a battle of information.
Yes, this site is a parody, but some believe the next round of fiction won't be as easy to spot.
In the absence of information, I think people are going to be making fairly knee-jerk decisions about this thing.
So Albertans are urged to triple-check sources and collect information from multiple places so they can make an informed decision. Just like critics said on Thursday, one website just won't cut it. CTV News reached out to the Premier's office for reaction to this story, but it wouldn't comment on the website. Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
The Premier's office did say the Premier will listen to the will of Albertans when they vote on these government referendum questions. Elections Alberta has asked schools to give kids the day off on referendum day. That's because schools are used as polling sites. The Calgary Board of Education has posted its updated instructional calendar. Instead of having Friday, October 23rd off, there will be no classes on Monday, October 19th. Calgary's Catholic School Board hasn't posted how it will be adjusting its calendar to accommodate referendum day. You've probably heard the expression, it's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Well, for the winner, this marathon basically was a sprint. A new record was set in London this weekend, and that's next. A Saskatchewan tow truck driver came to the rescue of someone needing stranded by the side of the road Sunday. Rebel Towing said online that a tow truck driver was heading to a call yesterday when they spotted a moose in a frozen ditch. He wasn't going to just leave it there, so he got to work. The driver used a harness to hoist the animal out of the water and onto the flatbed, then dropped it off at a farmyard with a blanket to warm up. That is some good attention to detail.
Good man doing that, right?
Yeah. All right, well, you guys, there is a new standard in long-distance running after the 2-hour mark was broken at the London Marathon. He is sprinting to the end.
It's incredible.
This is Kenya's
really.
Sebastian Sawe. He finished with a time of 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 30 seconds. Wow.
He doesn't even look like he's tired.
No, that is more than a minute faster than the previous record. He now becomes the first person to run a sub-2-hour marathon in a competitive race. And you guys, the second place finisher also finished in under 2 hours. And I was reading somewhere it's his first marathon. Incredible.
Wow.
Yes. Yes. On the women's side, Ethiopia's Tigist Asifa broke her own record with a time of 2 hours, 15 minutes, and 41 seconds.
Very impressive.
So impressive.
I'm so jealous of that. Wow.
Well, this is a bit of a marathon, too. Look at this. Wow, these are professional skippers. So as you can see there, every member of the team has got to be in sync here. They are moving as one, and they're moving so fast you can't even see the rope.
Oh my goodness, that's some serious leg strength.
But what's harder, the skipping or the rope twirler? Like they're both.
I would say,
was some serious
Never thought of that.
Strength and speed and
keep going and going and going.
And if you're on one side and you let go of the rope accidentally,
you're in big
from
trouble.
Experience, the other one flies.
Yeah. You're in big trouble if you let go. Well, how's this for a little underwater trick? This is so neat. It's pretty simple what she did here, I guess, if you can hold your breath long enough while you're down there to do it. So she blows a bubble in water, and then as it's spinning, she just lets a flower go into it, and then they just, I guess, spin together until the bubble breaks. It looks pretty cool, though.
Mm-hmm. I'd be afraid of sharks while all that's happening.
Well, she could be in a pool, I suppose, as well.
Maybe.
It looks like the ocean, but, you know, she might not be anywhere dangerous.
Cool water ring.
Yes, absolutely. Earnings reports from big tech companies will set the tone for the markets this week. We have the details in our business report. That's just ahead.
Skywatch weather camera. What a beautiful day today, and we're going to get nicer and nicer and nicer this week. Today we got to 7, which felt quite lovely compared to what we had for much of last week. Currently we're down to 6 as things cool for the evening. Normal is 14. We will get there, pretty much there tomorrow, and then even warmer than that in the coming days. 14 hours, 35 minutes of daylight, so we'll have a lot more minutes to enjoy the sunshine that we're going to get as this ridge of high pressure builds in. So this is just the beginning when you look at temperatures right now. 7 in Brooks and Medicine Hat, 8 in Milk River, 5 in Pincher Creek. Radar and satellite, this is that system tracking stateside. So while we have a ridge of high pressure making its way and starting to build in, it's not really going to be at its top strength until Wednesday. So this system will likely impact us in many communities late in the day for tomorrow. A line of showers and even some non-severe thunderstorms certainly possible by those supper hours. So looking at your next 24 hours for the overnight hours, wind chills back. wind chill of about -6 at 8 a.m. when off to work and school, a high of 13. And we have a decent chance of getting isolated showers or even a pop-up non-severe thunderstorm by those supper hours for tomorrow. Non-severe thunderstorm meaning some small pea-sized hail could come with it, and certainly some lightning as well. It will be short-lived if we get it at all. All right, Kelowna looking at showers for tomorrow. Salmon Arm as well. Fernie dry and 14. Edmonton 12 degrees for tomorrow, and really from Olds down through Calgary, High River, and towards Lethbridge, Pincher Creek. This is where we have our greatest chance for seeing any sort of shower or thunderstorm potential later in the day. But look at those daytime highs. We're getting better, and we're normal for tomorrow. 16 for Lethbridge, 15 for Medicine Hat. Tara?
Thank you, Danielle. Mayor Jeremy Farkas is pushing ahead with his pitch for a downtown police station. We haven't had a downtown police office for almost a decade. Farkas argues a presence would help improve safety. A child has serious injuries after a rollover on Temple Drive Northeast this afternoon. An SUV ended up on its roof. And a hit and run sent a teenage pedestrian to hospital near Village Square Shopping Centre. Police believe an altercation happened before the boy was struck. U.S. stocks hit record highs today as investors await earnings reports from technology giants this week. Here's Andrew Bell of BNN Bloomberg.
Hello there. America's S&P 500 stock index and the tech-heavy NASDAQ composite both climbed to record highs today, even as the conflict in the Persian Gulf keeps oil prices high. Quarterly reports from Alphabet, Microsoft, Amazon and Meta are due on Wednesday, followed by Apple a day later. And investors are betting that massive investment in artificial intelligence by most of those companies will pay off. But competition looms as China's DeepSeek slashes prices for developers using its AI model. Canadian stocks are still down about 2% from their March 2nd high. On the markets, the Canadian dollar was up. It changed hands at 73.35 US cents, up 0.17 of a cent. West Texas Intermediate oil traded at $96.46 US a barrel, up just over $2. Our latest fix on Western Canadian Select oil, $73.66, down $1.19. And the TSX ended at 33,818.19, down just under 86 points. That's the latest in business from BNN Bloomberg. I'm Andrew Bell.
The Bank of Canada is widely expected to keep its benchmark interest rate unchanged at its next policy decision. That's Wednesday. The central bank has held its key rate steady at 2.25% in 3 consecutive decisions. Officials are set to give more details about how the Iran war and high gasoline prices are affecting the central bank's forecasts for inflation and the economy. The bank will also get an update on fiscal policy when the federal government tables its spring economic statement tomorrow. Hundreds climbed the McHugh Bluff stairs Sunday to raise money for families experiencing housing instability. Calgary's most infamous set of stairs is not for the faint of heart. That challenge was met head-on, though, by those taking part in the 15th annual Steps to End Homelessness event. Organizers were hoping to raise between $120,000 and $200,000 to benefit In From the Cold. It is the largest family shelter in Alberta. Well, you have to be tough to be a bull rider. It's no sweat for this Alberta rider, though, getting ready for rodeo season. Glenn has her story next.
If you have any other comments or questions, please don't be scared to ask. We're here to help.
It was a dramatic rescue off the coast of Vancouver Island as search and rescue crews airlifted an injured sailor from a cargo ship. Crews were lowered onto the deck to prepare the sailor, who was then hoisted onto the helicopter and flown to Victoria. The 2026 Canadian Professional Rodeo Association's tour is now in full swing. Glenn is back with us. And Glenn, there aren't that many female bull riders, but you found one.
Tara, Tegan Bertamini is from, hang on. Okay, Acme, Alberta. I almost forgot. Acme, Alberta. Okay, she's on the back of bulls and cows since she was 11 years old, and she is fired up for the upcoming season. Tegan Bertamini is getting back on the barrel. It's what she uses to get ready for the rodeo season. The 19-year-old from Acme, Alberta, is in the minority in her sport. She's one of the few females to ride cows and bulls.
My brother was riding, and when they were at a rodeo, there was this little calf in the back. So everyone told me to get on it and just hop on. So I did, and then I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. So then I entered my first school at 2019, and it was like, this is fun, this is what I want to do.
Getting on the back of those big animals isn't for the faint of heart. You have to be tough, and you know there's a good chance you'll get injured. Bertamini says she's had her fair share over the years.
Yeah, I've definitely had several concussions, and then just recently in October, I tore my MCL and PCL in my right knee. So that definitely took me back a few steps.
But none of those injuries has made her think about giving it up. She could be called an adrenaline junkie, because she says there's nothing quite like the feeling of getting in that chute and trying to get the better of the beast.
Probably adrenaline rush, and just like how, I don't know, I just feel so like I've conquered something so big. After I stay on for the 8 seconds, I was like, I just did that, and the adrenaline rush really gives me something.
Bertamini would love to inspire other young females to give the sport a shot, and she plans on riding bulls and cows for a long time.
Kind of wherever it'll take me. I just want to keep riding. So right now I'm more focused on the cow riding because a new association just started for just ladies cow riding, and I'm really trying to advocate that and get more girls into the cow riding, just to show, yes, girls can do rough stock, it's not just for the men.
Now, eventually, Tegan may head to the United States to compete. She says in Florida and Texas, there's an association down south called the Elite Lady Bull Riders. Tegan back in action this weekend. She is headed to Hinton for the Brule Heritage Rodeo. NHL playoffs tonight. Penguins with a 3-2 lead over the Flyers after 2 periods. Utah and Vegas go later tonight. WHL East final. The Tigers and Raiders tied 1 game apiece. That after Medicine Hat won game 2-5-0. And congratulations to the Canmore Eagles. They win their first ever AJHL championship on the weekend.
Congrats to them. Thank you, Glenn. Okay, final peek at the weather. We got a pretty great week ahead.
We do. And first we'll start off with your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. Fixed right or it's free. And okay, a bit of a chilly start, -6 with the wind chill tomorrow morning. So similar to what we had this morning. Overall, a really nice day, but by the supper hours, we have the potential for showers or even non-severe thunderstorms in the city. 13 degrees is our daytime high, so back to normal. And then even warmer than normal for Wednesday. Really, that ridge of high pressure builds in Wednesday and Thursday, likely getting to that 20-degree mark or around that for Thursday and Friday. And then late day Friday, we're back into the potential for any sort of late day shower or thunderstorm activity. All right, so Weather Window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate. And we have a few viewers that tune in from Leader, Saskatchewan. And this is what that storm did there. So they had the wind, they had the snow, they had all the yuckiness we had as well. And
sorry,
now,
guys, but our sun's probably coming your way now. Hopefully.
Yes,
we know how you're feeling.
Yeah. We'll see you tomorrow.